Okay. This... Oh, I might have to fix it. Okay. Meta, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, is allowing hate speech. This is unacceptable. Hate speech should not be tolerated. This is an article from NBC News, and it's called Meta's New Hate Speech Guidelines Permit Users to Say LGBTQ People Are Mentally Ill. And does it say by Matt Lavitz? The article says Meta will allow billions of social media users to accuse people of being mentally ill based on their sexuality or gender identity. This is wrong and shouldn't be tolerated. The all people deserve respect. Their identities should be respected. And calling people mentally ill further stigmatizes people who have mental illness. It places people in danger. I reject that. It is hate speech under Canadian law. Referring, this would allow literal hate speech on social media platforms. It would increase the amount of violence directed towards members of the 2S LGBTQIA and communities, specifically transgender and non-binary. And it is discrimination that people have rejected. Largely, they said is unacceptable since the 80s. Well, I know that same-sex marriage was legalized only in 2015. But same-sex marriage, well, this is in the U.S., but same-sex marriage I thought all society was past that. We need to do better. We need to challenge this homophobic and transphobic policies on our social media, in our friends groups, in our cities, and it's call it out. It's unacceptable. I don't know what needs to happen, but we need to change. Meta needs to do better than this. We need to do better. And we need to take action. I've written articles that there's a genocide around the world, including in Canada. I've written an article about that. And this was before this policy change on Meta. So there's prohibitions on insults about someone's intellect or mental illness on Facebook. But there's a caveat, specifically for LGBTQ people. There should be no caveat. And they're using the excuse because of political and religious discourse. The political and the religious discourse is discriminatory. And it's about transgender and homosexuality. And then Mark Zuckerberg also is replacing the fact-checking program and wants it to be community-driven, similar to X, which was Twitter. It's that platform is filled with hateful rhetoric. Why do they want to be more like that platform? And then Zuckerberg cited the recent elections and the cultural tipping point to once again prioritizing speech. It's not about hate speech should not be prioritized. Discrimination should not be platformed. And platforms are not the government. There's removal of rules that forbid insults about a person's appearance based on race. So people can now be openly racist towards someone, ethnicity, national origin, disability, religious affiliation, caste, sexual orientation, sex, gender identity, and serious disease. They also scrapped policies that prohibit expressions of hate against a person or group on the basis of their protected class, and that banned users from referring to transgender or non-binary people as it. They don't even view transgender or non-binary people as people. So there are organizations that are denouncing this, such as GLAAD, and which is an LGBTQ media advocacy group. I use 2S LGBTQIA. And then, quote, without the necessary hate speech and other policies, Meta is giving green light for people to target LGBTQ people, women, immigrants, and other marginalized groups with violence, ritual, and dehumanizing narratives. And that's from President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis. And then it goes further. With these changes, Meta is continuing to normalize anti-LGBTQ hatred for profit, at the expense of its users and true freedom of expression. Fact-checking and hate speech policies protect free speech. End quote. And then a spokesperson for Meta did not respond to requests for comment. And CEOs and then they'll trying to rube Donald Trump. And then those Amazon, Apple, and OpenAI CEOs, they donated $1 million to Trump's second inaugurational fund. And then Dana White, a Trump supporter, is joining the board. We need to stand up to these reckless policies that will actively harm people. It's not okay. And that's the end of my rant for today. And I know that it's not environmental, but it needs to be said.